Hello, everyone. My name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. I'm still here. I know I've been gone for a few too many days now, but I did have some equipment trouble with my computer. At first, I thought it was my camera was broken, and then it turns out the actual USB-C port on my motherboard is actually not working, and it was going to be a huge issue to try to repair it, and there wasn't another slot for me to add another card to, and all this highly complicated stuff that probably you don't care about. But basically, I ended up going and getting a new computer, which is obviously I've been wanting to upgrade mine, but this one is a much, much nicer computer. As you'll see, I have two cameras now that I'm going to be working with, doing videos going forward, and in some fashion. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, but we're going to test it out here today. However, I do owe you an apology. I was supposed to do this video days ago, right? And we're talking about testing out the iOS version of Purewallet, right? It's on test flight now. And I was I asked to do a review of it along with many other people. So it's been really fun to do that. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to go through and critique it. I'm going to have some videos of my screen as I kind of go through and just run through just some basics. I add some ETH to it already, and then I'm swapping out for MMAI tokens and whatnot. And you'll see here in a second. But what I want to let you know is that I am sponsored by MMAI, right? They're one of my channel sponsors, and I am very, very lucky to have them. But that doesn't mean I'm not able to be critical. So if there's something critical in this test version of Purewallet, I'm going to say something. So hopefully they'll still be a channel sponsor after they see this video. I'm just joking. I'm not going to be mean about it, but there are a couple of things that were kind of irritating to me a little bit. But a lot of awesome positive stuff as well. So we're going to go through that here in a second. So my apologies, it's been taking too long, but I did have some equipment issues that I had to get resolved, but everything is good now, and we're back in business. So let's go ahead and get started with the two videos that I'm going to narrate over, and then I'm going to give you all of the feedback I have right after it's done. All right, this is just going to be a couple of minutes of going through here. I'm just flipping around. Really checking out the app, seeing if it's smooth. And you can see, obviously, there's Ethereum, USDC, USDT, MMAI, of course, BNB, WBTC, and well, that's wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped XRP. So I'm just going to kind of scan through it. Also, they have SHIB on here as well, which is good, for all those SHIB holders. And I already preloaded, so I'm looking to swap now for some MMAI tokens. And it takes me a little bit just to kind of get your bearings here and seeing what's going to happen. Now, one thing I'm going to complain about is the zeros. And you'll hear this, I'm sure, from multiple people who are testing the app and the wallet. And the zeros, they kind of bothers me. So, but I'm going to say more about that at the end of the video. So for those of you who don't think we're ever critical of the projects that actually sponsor us, you're incorrect. We can be critical, and I know they appreciate that too. Without we don't have to be mean about it, but I might get a little mean on it. I don't know. So anyway, I'm just flipping through. I want to go ahead and swap my little bit of Ethereum for some MMAI tokens. Also, one thing I want you to know is that when you totally shut this down and bring it back up, as far as the wallet goes, it comes back up in an offline state, which is nice, right? A good security feature, good safety. So I am swapping there. Ethereum, I forget. I mess with it a couple times. I think this one is the one that goes through. And right, network fee is kind of high, but I'm going to have to pay it. The price of doing business, I guess. It was fine. It didn't recognize my face. I don't know why. It's the only one I got. So it's pending here for a little bit, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. I don't know what to expect here, right? We're just waiting for the tokens to appear, right? That's what I would assume. I don't know how often this app automatically refreshes, and maybe that's a good question for the team to see about the refresh, because I think it did take a little while for it to actually show up. So I don't know if the refreshes happens all that often, but that's something I do not know. You can click on that swap link there. It's going to tell you this information is pending. You can go to the blockchain and check it out, just like any other wallet. All very easy, right? This is easy to see, easy to read, easy to understand. Even if you're new, I think this is going to be a fairly simple process to do. So there's your Bitcoin, and there's your SHIB. Don't have any SHIB. But for those of you that do, this is nice. It's going to come on the first version. They'll be adding many more, I'm sure, at later dates. But this also has BNB, and I don't know if you guys know this. Austin mentioned this before, that this is going to be one of the few. There's only a few wallets out there that actually have Ethereum and BNB, and you can swap between them. So that's nice to see. That's kind of a another feature that they're giving us that you don't get in other wallets. So I just checked the Etherscan to see it's going through. I see that it's going through, so it's just fine. I'm not concerned about it, but we're still waiting for it to populate. Boom, there it is. 38,481 MMAI tokens secured, and I'm just continuing to flip around. I'm looking for stupid things like spelling errors, or I don't know all the tech that goes behind this, but I do know how to spell. This you can purchase using the app that they have in here. I forget what it's called, Transact, and I had to go ahead and do the KYC process before you can do that. Obviously, I don't show that here, but I was KYC'd. It was actually very easy and very quick to KYC. And that's the end of this video. And here is just opening up the wallet right from jump there, getting into it, authenticating. Obviously, the bio is on, and it's getting my face authentication and main screen. Nothing big here, just your standard tokens. One thing it doesn't save is your preferences on your tokens in each wallet when you exit out and then come back into it. So minor, aesthetics kind of thing, and then the zeros and stuff where we go into. But this is basically just kind of running through. There's the swaps. There's wrap Bitcoin. Clicking on SHIB, and this is just to highlight another small issue. When you click on BNB, it doesn't change. It doesn't give you that selection there. And I do it a couple times just to show. And this will go to the devs and just say, hey, this minor little thing needs to be corrected. And then we go into the buy crypto section again. And this is just going to highlight the number of cryptos you could purchase. I don't know what you would do if you purchased, any of these other, like Dogecoin or Solana, that aren't really supported yet on the wallet. Obviously, it's still beta. But this does highlight all the different tokens and coins that are out there that can be added to this wallet. And I'm sure at some point they will. And then also little things like adding a browser function in there so that we can buy things on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, just like some other wallets there are. Okay, so now you can see it was very simple. It's very clean. It's easy to use. I had no issues getting on it other than downloading it very initially, but I didn't realize that there were supposed to be 2 emails and I only got 1 email. So there was a little bit of a delay there. It took an extra day, for me to get it situated, but no big deal. No harm, no foul. I was able to get it downloaded. It was very easy to set up your 12-word passphrase, right? Your recoverable passphrase when you set up a new wallet. And that's what I did. Instead of downloading one of my other wallets into it, I went ahead and set up a brand new wallet to see what that process was like. And actually on those 12 words that you get, you can write them down. Don't take a picture and leave it in your phone, obviously. That would be a very bad idea. It actually allows you to click on them in the right order instead of having to type them all out, which I thought was very, very nice and very convenient. So the setup for the new wallet was very easy. The 12-word seed phrase, clickable, very easy, super clean and easy to understand. Now this, I want you guys to understand, this is my opinion, okay? The biggest, let's say, characteristic of this wallet I wanted to see was that it needed to be easy to use, easy to understand, designed for somebody who doesn't have a cryptocurrency background like I do and like you do out there. But I wanted to be able to hand this to my mom and say, hey, Mom, go buy, after she KYC'd, I'd probably have to help her out with that a little bit, even though she wouldn't do it because she doesn't trust giving away personal information over the internet. And I totally get it, totally respect it. But if she was KYC'd, I could hand her the phone, and I believe within a minute or two, she could be purchasing Bitcoin or Ethereum or MMAI tokens. So So that was job one for me, and they knocked that out of the park. I mean, it's super easy. It's not fancy, which is totally fine. We don't need 1,000 different things to click on and different menus where you have to drill down and drill down and drill down to get what it is you're looking for. We need it easy to use, easy for the new guys who are coming in, because that's what we're going to be targeting outside of this wallet, right? Once the wallet drops, they're going to do marketing, and marketing is going to include a lot of people who aren't very familiar with the cryptocurrency industry. So, well done, right? Well done to the devs. That was great to see. Before I get into the negatives, okay, so those couple of items were the biggest out there, and they nailed it, knocked it out of the park. I really appreciate that. So great job, guys. But now we're going to get into some of the negatives, right? The critical part. And this is where, and I'm sure I'm probably hypercritical over certain situations, but the zeros, right? The zeros, it was kind of disappointing to me because it's such an easy thing. And I have to wonder, did anybody ever actually open the app and look at it? Because it is glaringly obvious that it is incorrect, right? When you have, when you're denominated in dollars and US dollars, it's $0.000. And they didn't include that. It was 0.0, which makes it look very, very odd and very obvious. I wonder why that wasn't fixed before they dropped it on test flight. Let's see, on BNB, I believe there were 3 different versions of zeros. There was a single zero, then there was 2 zeros, and then it was 3 zeros, depending on which wallet it was in of the 3 wallets, right? And these are things that are all going to get fixed, right? It was the zeros that kind of threw me off. But these other items I'm listing, they're just little things that need to be fixed, and I'm sure they are no big deal whatsoever. But just for me to record what I saw and what I thought, this isn't me, tearing anything down. This is just going over some of those items that I saw that might need to be fixed up. It doesn't add the tokens up together, so the dollar amount of my MMAI and my ETH dollar amount, they're not reflected in the total. It's just the ETH amount. And I know some wallets don't do that. If you look at MetaMask, a lot of times it doesn't really include some other tokens. It'll just include the major ones in your total up top. Let's see. It saves token preferences, but it doesn't reflect on screen. So, that's when you exit. So when you exit this wallet and then you come back into it, those preferences that you saved, they're still saved in there, because when you hit the 3 dots in order to select which ones you want to see on screen, they're still selected, but they're not reflected on screen at that time. If you hit the 3 dots and then you exit out of that again, your preferences will be there. So that's something that needs to be looked at. When you're swapping, the BNB doesn't actually populate. On the swap function, you can select which token you're going to swap for or from. And all of the other ones, if you select them and then go to swap, they show in there, but BNB doesn't actually show in there. I don't know if that's a big issue or not. Probably not. And then the value of the MMAI tokens, and I didn't put any SHIB in there or anything else. It was just MMAI and ETH, but that value would disappear and reappear depending on screens that you were coming in and out of. So, just a little bit glitchy, but really nothing major overall. I think, honestly, had the zeros not been an issue, I would have had really very little to say. That's what I saw. If you guys noticed anything different on the video that I showed, then let me know, or let the dev team know. Like, hey, this is what I noticed. I didn't see anything obvious, but the zeros, seriously, like I didn't even know what to say. I was like, why the heck aren't the zeros correct? Like, that seems like one of the easiest things to do. So you guys got a zero problem. All right, you've got a zero problem on the wallet. And I guarantee you I'm not the only one who's noticed that. I guarantee everybody else has probably mentioned that as well. I'm just now letting it reflect on the record. It'd be like, misspelling Purewallet and then not noticing. Like, that would be, kind of a stupid thing to see. So I think that just about covers it. It's, like I said, there is not a lot to it, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Super easy to use, easy to understand, easy to navigate, very smooth. I didn't see any glitching in between. Maybe the refresh needs to be done more often. I'm not sure how that works, but I will go ahead and make that suggestion. I'm going to write all of this down and send it off to Austin anyway, and the devs, so that they can just have a visual record of the things that I noticed anyway. And I'm still going to play with it as long as we can until it gets turned into the version that we're all going to be able to use. But that's it. Thanks for waiting, and thanks for watching the video. Well done, developers, on this test flight wallet version. And I can't wait to do another one. All right. We'll see you guys next time.